Hello and welcome back to the Parapod. This is episode 123. 123, the name of my favourite bus.
A classic.
A classic.
An institution of the larger Merino area.
An absolute institution. Don't know where I would have been without the 123 growing up. Probably just in my gap because I wouldn't have been able to leave.
I'm telling you, like, growing up
Yeah.
and, you know, figuring out my local bus was the very start, the start line of the 123.
Yeah.
If that's not main character energy, I don't know what is. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we got the number one as well nearby.
Yeah.
It's like proper. This is I was put here.
Yeah,
because I'm
on this earth for a reason.
Because it used to be the 42, and then the brief little history facts here. It used to be the 42, and then shortly after we were born, they changed it to the 123, just in recognition of the fact of what had happened in the area.
Yeah.
How things had changed.
The ripple effect already.
Forever.
The Parapod had a beginning.
Yeah.
And it was with the 123 bus.
They knew the admin in Dublin Bus head office knew that a new epoch had started, and that it was beginning some kind of like Oppenheimer event, and its epicenter was in Merino, and it was the 123 bus. I love that bus, and it's an honor to have reached the 123 number on this podcast. You know,
our final episode,
because this is this is the last stop, ladies and gentlemen. Last stop. This is actually a significant number as well. 125 is pretty significant as well. I think 123. I prefer 123. Which do you prefer?
I think 123 as well. It's just
I prefer 123.
Man, it's like, how do you start counting? 1, 2, 3. Like,
yeah,
come
yeah,
on.
Yeah, fucking ABC. You know?
Yeah, it's ABCs and numbers.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Simple stuff. This will probably be our episode with our broadest appeal. People see that, you know, they're like order. You know, beauty is order. You know, and the order numbers
symmetrical.
Symmetry. Yeah.
For some reason, there's something very symmetrical about 1, 2, 3.
Think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah. 1, 2, 3 or 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1's the next milestone. Like whatever about anything.
Forget about 200, 250, 300.
Who gives a fuck?
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
And
then we can end.
Yeah, then we can call it a day.
How many years is that? That's like over 6.
That'd be about 6 years.
6 years time.
Yeah.
We'll
well,
make
six years from the beginning. It's around. It's now.
This is
it's
the
3 years.
This is the third year of the podcast.
We've entered the third year. Yeah.
Yeah.
In
Weird.
the past 2 weeks. Yeah.
Weird.
That's crazy. 3 years. Where have they gone?
Oh man, especially because like I had a week like 2 weeks ago. Did I say 2 weeks ago? Maybe 3 weeks ago. Where did I tell you about my credit union debacle?
No, they tried to steal your money.
Oh man,
Did they? They love doing that.
No man, it wasn't that. I realized I got the wrong type of loan.
Yeah.
So like I need.
No.
Well, I got. It's not that big of a deal, but it's a bit of a deal where I thought I was getting 2 extra grand out of the credit union, and that's not what I was getting.
You just owe them.
What I had was essentially 2 grand of my own money. So a cover loan, if you take out a cover loan with a credit union, whatever money you have in the credit union, you can't touch that money if you have a cover loan, because if you take out, like, if you have 2 grand in the credit union,
It's collateral.
you can take as collateral.
Yeah.
So I took out this 2 grand loan
Yeah.
of money that I already had, and I was gonna have to pay them interest.
Yeah. How does that work?
So I asked, this is like, the annoying thing is that this is not the credit union's fault. This is my fault, because when they were telling me all the terms and conditions and stuff like that, I kind of glazed over, and I don't think I really listened.
You sign over your soul, your image rights, 25% interest weekly. He was like, yeah.
Yeah, 2 grand, that's cool.
Yeah, when do I get my money?
Yeah. Oh, today, perfect, grand. So, I didn't have. So I tried to pay my fees and take out all the money from the credit union.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't work. And I was like, that's weird. And then I tried to take out like 1,000 and it worked. And I was like, when I have a cover loan and they told me I had to leave money in the credit union to cover the loan, I don't think I really realized that I couldn't take out the €2,000 to cover from the loan.
So you thought you were doubling your money?
I thought, and then I went in to like confirm,
Yeah.
and I basically said to the girl, "What is the point of a cover loan?"
Yeah. What is the point of
And
it?
it's like, oh, some people don't like to touch their savings, which fair enough, but you don't have access to your savings, so they're not really your savings. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really know what the point of it was. I still don't. Even when she said people don't like to touch their savings, like, you'd be better off just taking the €2,000 out of your own money and then just storing up and saving again,
Yeah.
rather than owing them an extra $250 for taking out money that you already own.
50. That's
like, it wasn't.
That's considerable.
It's not that much. It's like, I think it was like,
Be about 200, wasn't it?
I think it was about 200, 250. It could have even been. It was around that area anyway. So my week started off with that. Then the following day, I'm looking at my phone and I'm wondering, because my favorite podcast was the Let's Fight a Boss podcast, and they've been on hiatus for a while,
Yeah.
and there's been no news, no nothing, no updates. So I go on to Reddit,
In jail.
and the top story on the subreddit was "It's over," and then just a message that was sent into the Discord by one of the members about how it's over, and that they're done and they're not making another podcast. Like, that's the end of it.
Why?
Seemingly, there's been a falling out amongst the three of them. Don't really know why. Not going to speculate.
Let's
but
Fight a Boss.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
podcast, and seemingly there was a fallout
Yeah.
of some sorts, and the podcast is on. I was like, oh man. And then the day after that, a wrestler, Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda, he died. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh my god.
It was a rough week.
It's been a hard week.
And then I went to London. I watched AEW in Wembley,
man,
and
you went-
everything was okay.
So yeah, beside those 3 days, you've been
Yeah.
on holiday for
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah. But like, and then because like that podcast, Let's Fight a Boss, was going on for like 9 years or something, or like
we'll do more than that.
8 years or something like that.
We'll beat that.
And I was like, 8 years is a long time. Hold on, our podcast is 3 years old. Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, just like how time flies.
Yeah, 3 years. A lot's happened.
A lot has happened.
Considerable amounts has happened.
Like, we started this in the pandemic. Like,
The pandemic, yeah, that's what it was.
those Leo books, man.
Oh man.
Look what they brought us.
I know, yeah. Like that just goes to show. Give free money to people, and they will make use of it. Look at this. Look at how productive this is.
We made 3 years of podcast.
Yeah. Think of the economy. You know, how much has this podcast contributed to the economy? That you can't even count. You couldn't even. You couldn't
All
even
that
put it-
ad revenue, you know.
Yeah, all the Patreon money. You know.
all those donations.
all the donations, all the charity drives we did. Remember
Those 24-hour streams.
the 24-hour stream that we were gonna do?
Oh, Mark, and the Discord.
Oh man, the Discord. Yeah, everyone in there is just flush.
Yeah, the memes,
The
the
NF
countless memes.
The NFT scams, the
Oh.
crypto era. Remember that? Yeah, like it's.
I was only thinking about NFTs the other day.
We've given back, man. I seen yesterday. I was thinking about it today. I was in the shop, and it's like the shop, like my local shop. It's on the south side now, so I don't know if they had this in like around here.
Could you pay in Dogecoin?
Yeah, oh man, I've seen people in Sandyford pay with like their crypto cards and stuff like that. You know, they're literally paying in Dogecoin. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? You know, they should be sectioned. But I was in this shop and I was walking through the off license as you do. You know, I was just checking things out, checking the prices, ridiculous prices anyway. And I was coming up to like the IPA cans, looking at all of them. And there was like a can. It was like you know the NFT like pixelated like smoke guy.
Yeah.
There was one of them, and it was like there was like two of these characters on the can, and they're like, it's like Chaz and Dave or something like that, and they're like,
Those are names.
it's like we were two VCs who saw the IPA market and decided to revolutionize the world.
Combining NFTs with IPAs. Jesus.
Yeah. So it's literally they use the word revolutionize the world, and they had these two NFT. It was like a time. I was time traveling back a year.
That's insane.
It's like how long did it take for this to get to market? It's like no one could possibly believe
No way.
what is written on this can.
The NFT dream is dead.
Yeah, it's dead. It's dead as a fucking doornail. The cans were There were 330ml IPA cans, €4 each.
Do you think that you
Not a soul had touched them. Not a soul. You know, they were gleaming clean. But yeah,
That is hilarious. No, because I was thinking about I was like, whatever happened to NFTs? Like, did the market crash? Boy, howdy did the market crash.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
It's gone.
Like, there's still like a lot of money in NFTs, but like nowhere near the amount of money that there was.
Yeah.
It's the same with, like,
it's too dangerous, I think, isn't it?
Also, like, it's like crypto is constantly crashing as well. So
Yeah, crypto has not made a comeback. AI is the meme of the day these days, from what I know.
it's a pretty good meme, you know. It's got a lot of longevity.
It has actual like real world applications, which I have. I've also made use of AI. I think most people have at this stage. Whereas crypto and NFTs was kind of like we all dabble in crypto, but it was just kind of like a money sink that like never actually did anything for like 99% of people.
I made €60.
I made about €60 as well,
Yeah.
Which I can't really access. You know,
Well, I got access to it through Revolut.
Revolut. Well, yeah, man, you got scammed.
I got a few pints of that.
You got scammed though. Revolut, it's a scam as well. But yeah, no, AI is where it's at. You know, so
I don't know. I think
for the minute until next year.
I think the current meme is AI, but also the death of Twitter.
Yeah, X.
I just think that needs to be documented. Like, just there's a good Netflix series to be made out of this.
Yeah, but
what happened to the bird?
It would require Elon Musk falling from grace, you know, because he just buy out Netflix.
I think that's happening though. Like,
he's too rich.
I don't know if he is, man. I think like because apparently like, so the reason why they limited the posts that people could view,
that was ridiculous.
Do you know why they did that?
No.
Because they have like databases and stuff like that that are stored by Google. And apparently Elon Musk wasn't paying Google for essentially the rent on the Google databases.
Yeah.
So they cut them off slightly and they had to reduce the databases. And this is how you counteract that, is by limiting the amount of posts that people can view.
Yeah, because when he said it, remember he said it that it was going to be a permanent feature. But he keeps saying that. And then none of it ever happens. Like
I don't know, man. The name X is still there for it's been there a lot longer than I thought it would be.
Oh yeah, that's different. Like you spend a lot of money doing that. It's like he's saying, I can only like people who don't pay to subscribe to it can only view. It was like 600 posts a day. It's like that would obviously kill the business model. And when it came out, everyone's kind of like, yeah, like you're gonna actually stick with that. Obviously, he didn't. And then last week or the week before, he started going on about who's going to remove the block feature. If they got rid of that, I would actually stop using it. I stop. Just because like it's like polluted. My entire feed is polluted with fucking absolute donkeys.
Yeah,
and like racists
and that's even with the people being blocked.
Yeah, and a lot. Yeah, if like they're really egregious, I just block them, which is grand. But then another one pops up and you block them. You know, so, you know, and
it's
just
pretty endless.
Loads of gore stuff. I block that stuff. If they got rid of the blocking, I'd be like, get me fucking out of here.
Yeah,
because they can't get rid of it because it would go against the policies of the App Store.
Yeah,
so they have to pull Twitter from every iPhone on Earth, which obviously isn't going to happen. But he pretended like this was an actual policy he was going to introduce.
He's like your man that owns Ryanair.
At least Michael Leary knows who he is.
Yeah, I know, but he's in on the meme. But just the fact that he's just like, yeah, you know what, we're gonna have standing seats on airplanes.
yeah. It's quite a distasteful meme. You know, and doxing ourselves there. But
people can figure out who
they can narrow down. Yeah, they know who we are.
We've mentioned the Greater Merino area multiple times.
There's definitely enough identifying information in the past 1,000 hours of audio that we've uploaded to the internet.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's actually probably a problem. It's probably a problem actually. We should be
it could become a problem.
It could.
But who knows? You know what wilderness awaits us in the future? You know,
the world of AI.
AI
is definitely taking this podcast and like. We're fucked. Like if we want to get a job from that, we're fucked.
Oh, the podcasting world. Yeah, that's gone. That has to be gone.
Episode 1, 2, 3
podcasting is dead.
The market's flooded.
Podcasting, producing maybe, or like, but you still need mixing, still need human validation, so all those things. You know?
Yeah, there's still human aspects, but like not for long.
It's like just patting ourselves to the back.
Just for now. At least I can hit the record button.
Absolutely, we'll make it work. But yeah,
definitely.
You know.
Oy vey. Talk about work. Do you think you could work in a kitchen?
A kitchen? No, I don't think I could. I did actually do. This is. I know what you're trying to do.
Take the tangent, Mark. Take the tangent. Go with it.
No, but I did briefly. I didn't work in the kitchen, but I worked as wait staff in O'Neill's. You know the tourist pub on Suffolk Street.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I did that for 2 shifts. The first time I picked up a plate, didn't actually work in the kitchen, but I'd take the stuff from the kitchen and like give it out to all the tourists and stuff. The first plate I picked up was like it was like fish and chips or something, and it had like a little thing of sauce, like red sauce on the side. And I had to bring it over to these Americans. I'd never done this before in my entire life, no training whatsoever. Brought it up, like, but it's just holding the plate, you know. I only had one. You know, you see people with like 4 or 5 plates on their arms.
How did you fuck this up, Mark?
I went over and I didn't take into account momentum, speed, velocity.
See, there's a lot to go into waiting, you know.
And I need to make that money. And I basically just threw the plate at this like 10-year-old American girl and it fell straight in her lap. And like, I was like, oh, I'm so sorry.
You're like, Icarus, you flew too close to the sun.
Can I get you some napkins? I didn't know what to do. The manager had to come over, like, take over the table. And I didn't get called back.
Fair enough.
After that. They were very nice about it, though.
Fair enough, though.
Like, the parents were very nice. This 10-year-old girl just got, like, dumped a load of hot food and sauce into her lap.
Welcome to Ireland.
I still remember it. I felt so bad.
That's one of those moments I think I'd want the world to swallow me up.
Yeah, I just wanted to run out of there. And then I asked him at the end of the shift, like, when's my next shift?
He's like, yeah, we'll get back to you.
Literally, that's what they said.
Yeah,
we'll call you.
We'll let you know.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, no, because I worked in a kitchen, but only as just like the dishwasher.
Yeah, Nook.
Oh man, shout out to Nook.
Shout out to Nook. They fed us.
They did.
They fed us.
They were a sole reason as why we survived Vancouver.
Basically, yeah.
I owe them a lot. But yeah, working in the kitchen was fun. But the bear, Mark, does not make... Well, no, the bear...
It looks kind of fun
Yeah,
in like a siege mentality kind of way.
In certain aspects, it looks fun.
If it paid really well, it'd be like, oh, that'd be a fun job.
Yeah.
But it does not.
What did you think about the bear?
I really enjoyed the bear.
How much of the bear did you watch?
So I was going to pretend I watched the full thing, but no, you just called me out.
Nah, we're not.
I watched...
Truth and honesty, this is the Power Pod's known for.
So I watched the first season, and then I got through the first 3 episodes of the second season. Just finished them there before I left. But I found it really hard to get into at the start. Like I watched an episode a night, and I wasn't really getting the vibe. I think it's the kind of thing that you probably should kind of watch in a row. It's one of those streaming shows.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, like have it in a like a series where you watch them in a series, episode after episode, rather than in like little blocks. And I was finding it hard to get into the vibe. I was like, wait, how's this relate to what? Because it's kind of smart how like you leave little breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
Pun intended. And then you know, 2 episodes later it'll come up, or even like at the end of the season it'll come up, or whatever, you know.
Yeah, the big one being the tomatoes in the season.
Yeah, that was huge. Yeah,
I was like, oh, like that's like the first change that he made.
That's the first thing he says. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, like just the breadcrumbs, and like it comes up again and again throughout the show.
Yeah. So I think it's good to have that fresh in your mind, because I watched it. I think I got through the first season. It took me maybe a month to get through it, 3 weeks a month. So I didn't watch it properly, but then I kind of speeded through the last three episodes ish, and then again with the second season. But yeah, it's really picked up a lot of momentum there. It's very fast paced, very stressful.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, it's kind of a comfy show. It's all the food.
Yeah, man. There's
and then the breaks, because they'll have a really stressful scene.
Yeah.
Or sequence or whatever, or a stressful episode.
Yeah, entire episode.
And then they'll have like this really just like not kind of, not comfy, but more relaxed, maybe like sad vibes, but still looks kind of comfy.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I don't know, it's a nice kind of break, like in terms of pacing and stuff like that. So it still makes it work, as in like it's not just kind of, high octane, like crazy. Whoa, this kitchen is just out of control. Like it's a drama about a man, very flawed man, and he's very normal friends. It's just normal people.
Yeah, because like that's like I don't know. I feel like a lot of people watch The Bear, but I don't know if everyone's watched The Bear.
I think a lot of people watch it. Anyone who hasn't watched it, get fucked.
Yeah, like
just spoil it.
It's easily like one of the best shows on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah.
Like so. It's very high up there, and like just Carmi trying to like build up the kitchen to make it something better, and then in season 2 it's all about like building the kitchen, and like oh man, season 2 that was like, because I liked season 1. I had a similar thing with you where I was like watching an episode there, then a few days later watching another episode, but like it's season 2. Like me and Melissa have been watching this, and we just binge watch like 3 episodes in a row, and the episodes are longer in season 2 than they are in season 1.
Yeah. They change runtime.
Yeah,
which kind of threw me.
And like there's an hour-long episode, and it's like, oh my god, like just the stress of that hour-long episode in season 2, fucking hell.
Mm.
And like, there's so many people in the show. Like, that episode has Bob Odenkirk in it. It's got Jamie Lee Curtis. It has that comedian from SNL. He's got the glasses. Oh, I can't think of his name.
I don't know.
Oh, I can't remember his name, but he's in that episode anyway. There's loads of people in the show, especially in season 2. Like, Will Poulter's in an episode in season 2.
Really? Yeah.
Did you see that? No, I think it's episode 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the characters goes to Denmark.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
He goes to Europe.
Mhm.
And that's a good episode. But man, there's an episode in season 2 focused on Richie, who is a character that I didn't really like all that much, especially in season 1. But season 2 starts to grow on you. Episode Forks, season 2. Man, it's so good. Like, it's just like one of those episodes where it's just like completely just changes your opinion on a character that was like building up throughout the season. Like, in the episode beforehand, you see him, like, what he was like with his ex-wife before she was his ex-wife. You see him with his daughter more. And then that episode is just, like, focusing on that and how he's changing to be better. And it's so good.
Yeah, I hated Richie at the start. I thought he was a cunt. You know, that was the idea, obviously. That was the whole point of his character, kind of, you know. You don't like
Cousin.
Cousin, yeah. He's such a... he's just a hack, you know. But then, the more season 1 goes on, he's getting more and more. I think he's like recognizing his place in the machine that like Carmi's building.
Mm-hmm.
And then just from like watching the start of season 2, you can see that he's changing him. Like he has like some like a motivation
the building
to change.
itself, he is changing and he has to grow.
Yes, he's growing. He's revolution. He might as well have a new name. You know, he's a new guy. He seems to be changing as a character. The character development seemed to have been charted out in advance of, like, I don't know when, because it came out a year ago, wasn't it? The season 1.
Yeah, I
I
think
remember
it's
it was
from
pretty
last
big.
year.
I
Yeah.
thought this was a documentary when it first came out and people were talking about it. I was like, I'm not really interested in watching something like that. But it seems really clear that they knew where everyone was going for season 2 in advance of ever like starting production on that.
Yeah.
Which is always a good thing.
Like, and even like the stylistic things they were talking about, like there's an episode that's like a one-shot take in season 1, and then the season 2 finale incorporates the stress of the one-shot take.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Like, just like there's like plants and playoffs that play out throughout the show as a whole. Is so good. So good. Oh no, it's definitely like one of my favorite shows. It's definitely the best show I've watched in a while. Like, this is better than Ozark, which I really liked.
Yeah, you were mad for Ozark. Yeah.
But like, this is better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, it's very good. I have to get to the end of season 2 before I fully form my opinions, because as of now, I've only enjoyed it for like half the time I watched it. You know, the first half was just like kind of yeah. You know.
Yeah.
But now
Definitely
I'm getting into it.
After the one take episode in season 1, which I think it's only like that's only the third or second last episode. From there I was hooked, and season 2 has only hooked me more. Put it in.
Give me more.
Give me more.
Give me more.
Feed me more.
Yeah, the food. It looks quite tasty. I'd like to eat there.
Oh man, some of the food looks unreal.
Yeah.
Looks unreal.
Yeah. All this lingo though. I could never cook anything.
Should we just start calling
that
each
even
other cousins?
describes. Hey, cousin.
Cousin.
Yeah, because they're not cousins, but they're just like, you know.
Family.
They're just
cousins.
They're family, yeah.
You, dear listener, you are a cousin.
You're a cousin.
Cousin listener.
Second cousin. Yeah, no, it's good show, good old show. Disney Plus pulling out the bag.
Yeah.
I don't know if they pulled out the bag before. I can't remember if they did.
Probably
but
not.
In this case, they have. It's the one case where they have.
But this is a Hulu show as well. This isn't even a Disney Plus. Or it's a Stars show, isn't it?
Yeah, Stars. Yeah. Which is Disney Plus.
Yeah, but you know,
it's like
it's not. It doesn't have the
adults.
Disney Plus logo or the Marvel logo or anything like that. So it's not Disney Plus or Star Wars.
He just enters the extended universe.
Yeah.
He's like Tony Stark's cook, you know. And wait, he's dead. I forgot. Spoiler alert.
Jesus, Mark, what the fuck? He's
He'll be in the Marvels.
Yeah, like Doctor Strange will come in for a sandwich or something like that.
Yeah, and they play it off totally normal. And he'll be like, ah. you know.
And then it's like, we need you, Carmi.
Yeah. You have a mission. You have a
Avengers
calling.
assemble. Hey, cousin.
Hey, cousin, I gotta go out for a few hours.
Oh, fuck. But you haven't watching
I've
The
been
Bear
watching.
because you've been busy watching something else. Haven't you, Mark?
Yeah, see, the reasons.
You've neglected your podcasting
See,
duties
see,
to enjoy something.
no, it's not like that at all. No. See, yeah, we agreed last time, many moons ago when we last met, that we both watched The Bear by the time that we met again. And I failed in my duty. Mainly because I was watching a different show called Jury Duty, which I only found out about, to be fair, about a week ago. But it's this cool show, which is actually, it's Amazon produced. It's on this streaming platform, Amazon Freevee.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Amazon Prime. I was like, man,
No.
Mark, everyone knows about Amazon. What the fuck is it? Amazon Preview? What the fuck is that?
There's a little known streaming site called Amazon Prime.
I think this is a weird bit.
No, Amazon Freevee, which is not available in Ireland. Is the
Oh,
thing. So
okay.
This kind of catch. So you won't. It's kind of. Well, it's not difficult to watch the show, but like,
There's
it's not.
loops you must go through.
Yeah, it won't be on your smart TV, basically, you know. But it is. If you have a VPN, you can watch it because it's free. It's the whole thing. Freevee. It's Amazon Prime, but with ads, so it's free. So you don't actually have to pay for it.
Okay.
But in America, it's available, so you can just watch it on Freevee, .com, whatever it is, through an American VPN or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, it's like Tubi or Tubi. Well,
Yeah,
Tubi TV.
Tubi TV.
It's a great service.
But yeah, and Hulu used to be like that as well, or maybe it still is.
Dunno. No, I think you still have to pay for Hulu.
I used to watch The Simpsons on Hulu, because with Hola VPN,
Times they do be a change.
they do be a changing. But no, I watched Jury Duty. So this is like it's kind of like it wasn't set up to be like a hit show, but it is kind of a hit show because it was obviously relegated to like the shittest streaming service they have. I was shown basically for free as well with a few ads. But the whole premise is, I'd compare it to The Rehearsal in terms of
Oh Jesus.
the approach that it takes.
Okay.
So it's 8 episodes that follow a jury through a trial.
Is the trial fake?
That's the thing.
Oh
This
Jesus.
is not a normal trial. The trial is fake. 11 of the jurors are actors, and one of them is an unsuspecting member of the public. Just some random guy
Christ.
who replied to a Craigslist ad for like a casting call. And then a few months later, he was like, jury duty came up. And he's summoned to this civil trial. It's like this bullshit case. It's not really that interesting. But they make it, interesting through the course of the show. It's produced by the guys who did The American Office. Which,
Okay, yeah.
Which was not interesting to me whatsoever. Like, it didn't sound that...
Something popular.
Yeah, it's something popular, but just in terms of like the style, I was like, will it be good? Stuck it on. It's only 20 minutes an episode, 8 episodes, really digestible. They have like a guest star, like a star kind of, who's like the vehicle through which the show justifies its existence. James Marsden.
Yes.
Yeah, the guy did Cyclops in X-Men. He plays himself as someone who's summoned to jury duty and really wants to get out of it, so he's like a star and stuff. So he wants to secure this role for this movie that he wants to be in. He has to do these auditions, so he wants to get out of it.
He's
Basically,
in Sonic.
he's in. Comes up in the show. He's like, I was in Sonic, and the guy isn't an actor. He's like, I heard that film was really terrible. I mean, he's like, James Marsden is really, really funny, and I didn't know he had those acting chops, the comedic kind of aspect to his talents. He's really good. He kind of carries the show through like the duller moments. Like he does all the main set pieces with the the main character, basically the hero as they call him, like the guy who doesn't know what's happening, basically. And the whole thing is when they're being selected as jurors, like we both showed up to jury duty before,
It's a lot of bollocks.
Yeah. So they get like a pool of people, and then they select you, and you have to stand up and give reasons why you might not be able to serve on the jury. And one of the guys gives this at the hero suggestion. He gives the Family Guy excuse, like I'm a racist, and like this guy just can't believe it's the whole show is like these things keep happening where he just can't believe that like he's living in this real world. But the trial is so boring, like the actual subject matter, and like the people themselves, like they're all completely unknown actors. The other jurors, who have like improv backgrounds, like in Hollywood. So they're not recognizable. They're just like normal people.
Mhm.
One of them's like a fucking mechanical engineer who does improv on the side, and he was like approached to take on the role in the show. But James Marsden gets up and he's like orchestrated for like fake paparazzi to come in and like pretend to take pictures of him. And for that reason, the jurors are all sequestered into a hotel, which is obviously drives the show as well, because he has to live with all these very strange
Christ
people.
alive.
So the jurors are living, these actors are living full time with this guy in the hotel, and like to do rehearsals, they'll like fake things like a COVID scare, because it was filmed like 2 years ago. And so like he'll have to like stay in his room, and he thinks that everyone else is doing the same thing, but actually they're being like bussed off to a location for a scene that'll be shot the next day, and they'll do rehearsals and like do like an ABC plot for like depending on what his reaction might be. It's really it's a great like premise. It's the way it's done is like the reason why like I don't think like the producer like saying who the producers are isn't really relevant, because I think it's the fact is the guy himself, like the actual
he's the star.
He's the star because it's the way he reacts to all these crazy things happening.
And the Truman Show really fucked people up, didn't it?
Yeah. And like the way he reacts to it is just so like he's just such a nice guy. Like he's an amazing guy. Like he's just he tries to help all these people. There's one of them who's like obsessed with cybernetics. Like he's one of the characters. Like he has like a feeding tube that he carries around. He's really awkward around women. Like he has like these like stilts that he attaches to his back where he uses to sit in lieu of a chair. And you know the hero is really supportive of this whole thing. He's like, oh man, don't worry about people like making fun of you. Like, you know, you have your interests. You do what you want to do. So you'll be fine. He's selected as the foreperson, so he takes on like a leadership role, and he steps up to the plate. He's proper helping everyone out. James Marsden's like hanging out with him, doing like helping him to film like the audition tape for this role he wants to get, and ends up taking this massive shit in his toilet, and they have to get the like the plumber up, and James Marsden's like, oh, the gossip sites can't find out about this. You have to take the bullet on this. And he's like, yeah, no problem, man. It's like, I'll do this for you. It's like, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. So what makes the show, like, rather than just the premise, and that's how it kind of ties into rehearsal. It's not just like a kind of a prank show where it's like it's kind of making fun of him.
Yeah.
Like he's the joke, or even the character, like the other juror actors are the jokes. Even though the way their characters are set up, they clearly are kind of just taken out of a sitcom. But the way they react, obviously they have the improv background. They kind of play into his genuineness and his sincerity, and it ends up just kind of being like a testament to like the decency of the
average man,
of the average person. Yeah. It's so nice that way, you know. It's like really heartwarming. Like he just proper steps up to the plate, takes all these crazy scenarios in his stride. And it's still funny in spite of all that. The fact that he's just like he's like nonplussed by everything. James Marsden's obviously great in it. That's very short. It's bizarrely heartwarming, you know. You know, it's not like Nathan.
It's not like the rehearsal. Then
it's not. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, exactly. But it's more like it's the social commentary aspect of it, which I don't think was intended by the show really.
They're like, yeah, let's see what wacky shit happens, and this is the wacky shit that happens.
Yeah, and the wacky shit is like it's not as wacky as it could be, but in doing so, it's actually better than just some kind of silly show where they're like, look. Whoa, he's got stilts on his ass.
Yeah.
So this guy, he's a virgin, you know. It's like no, like he's just a really nice guy, and he's in these crazy scenarios.
It could have been a very different show if it was a different dude.
Yeah. But that's what makes it really cool, and that's that's why I think it's become kind of a bit of a hit. Like it's not huge, obviously, but your man, the hero guy, he's done like ads where like Ryan Reynolds like hangs out with James Marsden and stuff like that now, because it was very well received. Even though it's basically he made the show without knowing that he was
making the
at
show.
All.
That's so funny.
And the reveal is great. There's a whole episode dedicated to that. Just like stepping behind the camera, like deconstructing the whole social process, like how they kind of tried to get inside his head, and how he's kind of always one step ahead of them as well, like trying to solve the case. Like he's proper betting to the case the entire time. He's trying to solve it. He's like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So they have to come up with like, they present evidence the next day that would kind of explain, or there was a gap left here. It's really good. I think you should give it a watch if you want.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's really short. It's not laugh out loud funny. It's just like amusing and like also just bizarrely heartwarming. So I thought it was,
I can see why
I
you took this
blazed.
over the bear.
I blazed through
Mm.
it in a few days. Very good.
Sounds good.
And then I went back to the bear. So yeah.
The bear will also give you that. The common man standing up doing it, doing what's right, decency.
The
Yes!
common man.
Let's go, Richie. Yeah, no, that sounds good. One last TV show, only because I
Let's
haven't
do
watched much of it. But I watched the first episode of the One Piece live action.
Oh, controversial.
It's pretty good. It's good. It's a very good first episode. Like a lot of the stuff I've been seeing about the live action is the casting. Disclaimer: like, if I was to say what my favorite piece of media in anything ever, One Piece is my answer to that.
Yeah.
One Piece is my favorite piece of media. The manga. I've never actually watched the anime.
You just read the manga.
I have no interest in watching the anime. I've seen some of the films, but like I'm not watching the anime. Like it's no point. So I can't compare this to the anime.
Yeah.
I can only compare this to the manga. So I'm like, the casting is really fucking good.
Yeah, 'cause
Like,
it looked a bit dodged, didn't it?
I thought it
Initially.
looked a bit dodgy, and then watching him, like, damn, the guy that plays Zoro, who's like the pirate ninja. Oh man, he's so good. He's got this like badass swordsman down to a T. He's not like a ninja, but you know, he's like a samurai. With 3 swords. And I was wondering, I wonder if they're gonna be able to use the fact that, because like obviously with manga or like, you know, anime, a man can fight with his mouth and it's fine, like it makes sense. But a real person doing that, I don't know how that would work. And in the first episode, they make it work. So
it's a Netflix series, is it?
It's a Netflix series.
Yeah.
And even at the very start, they've changed stuff around. Like certain plot elements are happening way earlier on now than they would, like in the manga and stuff like that, because you don't have the longevity of writing a weekly manga.
Yeah.
But so far that was pretty good. And I've heard like the rest of it's very good.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of great, like surprisingly great things. A lot of surprised reactions. People being like, "Wow, this is actually good."
Because man, I'm not like, I watched some parts of live action anime films.
Yeah.
They are dog shit.
You refuse to watch the full thing.
Oh man, they're so bad. I've only ever watched like 20 minutes of the Full Alchemist one, which is terrible. Oh, it's so bad.
Don't they put her in like Yellowface, or is that Battle Angel Alita?
No, that's Ghost in the Shell.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Which I haven't seen that, but I've heard that's dog shit as well.
Yeah.
There's a Dragon Ball Evolution one, which is like
the
worst film ever made.
Yeah. Wasn't that Shyamalan? Or is that
No, that's The Last Airbender, which is also dog shit. So just anytime they make a live action of an anime, or like Avatar isn't an anime, but it's anime adjacent, I guess. They always fuck it up. And first episode, they didn't fuck it up, and the rest, from what I've heard, they don't fuck it up. They even made, like, 'cause my big concern was in One Piece, the main character is Luffy, and Luffy's power is that he's made of rubber and is really stretchy. And I was like, oh god, how are they going to show that?
Yeah.
Like in live action, pretty well. Like the CGI is pretty decent.
I think he stretches and stuff.
Like he stretches and I'm not like, ew.
Yeah.
He pulls his cheek for one bit, and like it's like that CGI was so good, because it was like, ugh, what the fuck? Like you could feel it on your mouth when he pulled his cheek apart to like show how stretchy he was.
Yeah.
But that was pretty good. And Nami's in it now. Like all these characters are introduced very early on. I know what the season finale is, which is it's called Arlong Park, or Arlong Park. I don't know. Arlong Park. How do you say park?
Park.
I think I said it with a northern accent there for a second. Park. Arlong Park. And that's where they fight fish people.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what they're gonna look like.
Doesn't One Piece get quite dark? Or is that something else?
I think that's something else.
Okay.
One Piece doesn't, like, not really. It gets way more dramatic, and like major characters die, and like, oh. But yeah, it's also like I get a lot of like One Piece TikToks now, and just like constant feel like, did you know that One Piece has like leftist ideology? It's like, yes, I know. I've seen so much about this. I know. You're not the first person to say this. Fucking hell.
I actually don't know what were you going with that?
With what?
Like leftist what?
Oh, so like the whole thing of One Piece is that it's about like Luffy is someone that just believes in like adventure. His character trait is adventure. What does he like to do? He likes to adventure. What does he eats adventure. He just adventure. He's an adventure boy. And as because of that, he believes in like anyone should be able to decide whatever they want to do. Like, it's not bothering me. I'm going to do this, and anyone else can do whatever they want. Yeah. And in doing so, takes down the world government, fights off like fascism, unites people in how they and shows them how they can overthrow oppressive governments and people and stuff like that. It's like, huh, interesting.
that's bizarre. Yeah.
And like, there's like loads of like LGBT people that are his mates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like the fish people are slaves or were slaves at one point and have been liberated. Yeah.
This is good.
It is good. One Piece. Cool. It's not even just good, Mark. One Piece is the best. Live action, pretty good, but One Piece is the best. Nothing tops it.
How long are the episodes?
An hour, like
an hour. Sorry,
40, 50 minutes. Yeah, like that's not like. Apparently, it's decent for people that haven't a notion about One Piece. But yeah, like I don't think you'd like it, Mark.
Okay, I won't watch it then.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that. But it's good, and I do recommend to other people, just not Mark. Oh shit! I got one more thing on the docket. I was like, okay, maybe take a break, but no, I got one more thing on the docket.
Let's go.
I also went to go see the new horror film Talk to Me.
Oh, yeah, I've never heard of it.
Have you never heard of this film?
Never heard of this film.
There's been a lot of hype over this movie.
Let me look it up.
It's a Australian film. I thought it was an A24 film, and I can see why people think that, but it's not. It's like, like prestige horror. Like I would term like Hereditary as like prestige horror.
Yeah.
In terms of like, there's like it's so well shot. Like Midsummer is like that as well.
Like
Babadook.
Yeah.
Like films that like are dealing like It Follows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like films that like very clearly have like a what is the word I'm looking for? What the fuck am I looking for? Subtext. Thank you. Fucking hell. I was thinking submit. I was thinking flag. I was thinking what the fuck. I was thinking submit. I fucking couldn't think of the word. And this film has that, but it is also like I've never seen a possession film or like a ghost movie go like where this movie goes.
Yeah. The film follows a group of teenagers who discover they're able to contact spirits using mysterious embalmed hand, only for things to go too far. That sign me up. I love things about creepy hands.
Oh man, the hand is pretty creepy, but like they go like straight into it. Like like I thought there'd be a bit of build up, and like they touch the hand and it just cuts to what the person's seeing. You're like, well, that is absolutely fucking horrifying. And like that happens throughout the film. But so I wanted to see this film earlier. Like it's been out for a while. I want to see it earlier, and the reason I was gonna go see it by myself because Melissa likes watching horror films, but Melissa can't do gore. And I heard that there was some like gore shit in this movie, and like it is 16s, but fucking hell, man, there's a lot you can do with 16s.
Really?
Oh Jesus, there's one scene in particular where like a character is just self-harming and fucking Jesus.
Oh,
it's like Evil Dead remake adjacent.
Yeah, that's a lot of gore.
Yeah,
that's
like it's not that much gore, but just the level of violence is to that level.
Yeah.
And yeah, like that's the incident. And even like from the get go, there's a stab that happens early on in the film, and the sound design off that alone, I was like, oh man, because I heard there was violence in the film. I was like, the violence is gonna sound so squelchy and so brutal, and it was. I just that one knife shot at the start of the film just told me that the sound design is very good in this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, but like the gore isn't the main thing in the film. The main thing is like this like psychological horror with someone communicating to someone that they love that died. And it's about like grief, but it's about like grief and trauma. But like, we talked about Smile recently.
Yeah.
Jesus, this does what Smile like vaguely does so much better. Oh my fucking god! Like it does something that I've never seen in a film, and it's like, you know the way that like there was like the ending of Smile is like hopeless, but it just feels real. It doesn't feel earned. And Talk to Me, it is earned.
In what way?
In the hopelessness.
Yeah.
It's so well earned, and it's a really good horror film.
Oh, okay, it's in cinemas, is it?
It's still in cinemas. I think it'll be out of cinemas soon. But like it's well worth going to cinema to see.
Where'd you go see it?
It's on the Lighthouse. It's on Cinema Day. It was €4 for tickets.
I've never heard of this.
Oh, you never heard of Cinema Day?
What the fuck?
National Cinema Day. Cinema Day.
I forgot.
€4 tickets for anywhere.
No.
Mark.
I need to get on that.
To be fair, I didn't even know it was a thing either until Melissa told me so. I feel like they should promote that more, but I also don't think that cinemas really want.
Yeah.
Because our cinema was packed, was fully booked out, but there's empty seats fucking everywhere because people just buy tickets and they just don't show up.
Yeah.
Because it's €4, so like no biggie.
Well, still, you're getting. Well, yeah. Because
they're still getting their money, but also
they have to pay the distributor and stuff.
Yeah, they're not making money on popcorn and
they
drinks
want
and
people
shit
to
like
buy
that.
stuff
Yeah.
like that, yeah.
So fair enough.
Nah, fuck them.
But Talk to Me was banging. Like,
yeah,
it's the best horror film since Midsummer, maybe. I can't think of any films that came out, like cinema films that came out that top that.
That is a tall order. That's a big thing to say.
I think I'm missing shit in between though. I really feel like I am.
I feel like you're right, because that's like 4 years ago.
Yeah, I feel like I'm definitely missing stuff.
But I can't remember. I can't come up with anything to dispute what you just said.
Like it's better than what was that one? The Barbarian. It's better than that.
Yeah.
And Barbarian was really good, but like it's better than that.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that, but don't quote me on it.
That
Don't hold it against me too much. I can't think of any other films.
All right.
So that's my justification.
Just gone out on an absolute limb there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
I hope I'm right.
Well, now I kind of don't want to go see it.
Why?
You seem very sure there.
I know it is. I'm fairly certain it is.
I'm gonna go.
I just can't think of anything else that came out in between.
I want to go
which is a
see
good
it.
sign, you know.
Yeah. I want to go see it now. I might go see it before it leaves cinemas, but I might also watch it on Dodgy Box.
So.
I might do one of those things.
No, like the fucking like the cinema experience made it. Like people yelling and screaming at some of the gory bits was like
Really? People reacting?
Oh yeah, man. There's one bit that you can't react to. Like you're gonna get a reaction out of it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's impossible.
Yeah. I haven't seen a good horror film in cinemas in quite a long time, so I might use that now. Use that up. Might break that habit.
Do it. I also really want to go see that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie.
Yeah, apparently it's good.
It just looks fun. You know?
I'm not gonna go see that, but
no,
it looks
fun.
It looks fun.
Yeah.
It looks like awesome.
It's Spider-Verse adjacent.
Yeah. It fills that hole. See, Dune got pushed back.
See that like everything ever made got pushed back.
Did it?
Oh man, so much shit got pushed back.
It's depressing.
And
There's
like
nothing coming out.
And just straight up like cancelled.
Really?
Do you know that they made How I Met Your Father?
Yeah.
That got cancelled.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
That was the best news I heard all month.
I can't believe that was a show. But
I seen a screenshot from it and I was like, that's exactly how I expected that. I'd say it's as funny as it looks, you know? It looked fucking terrible.
Yeah, it did.
You see, there's a How I Met Your... What was it? There's one with Greta Gerwig in it. There was a How I Met Your something or other. There was, I don't know, there's one in between the two that was cancelled before it went to air. Greta Gerwig was in it. And then because it was cancelled, she went off to direct Lady Bird and whatever and Barbie.
No idea.
Yeah. But like basically it's a good thing for the universe if this happened again. You know?
Again.
Hopefully one of them will go on to do better things.
Yeah, weird. Like, cause I'm disappointed with Dune because I'm like, oh man.
That was what I was looking forward to. That's the only thing keep me committed to the rest of 2023.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, get this year over
what
with.
film, like, so we're in September now.
Jesus.
So will we get, I know, that's so depressing. We have like 3-ish months left.
What's coming out, man?
I don't know what else is coming out, but I'm also wondering, like, what's award season going to look like? Has there been anything out yet?
Oppenheimer.
Oh fuck yeah, Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
I forgot.
Oppenheimer's gonna
I've already forgot.
sweep.
I already forgot that film
It's
came out.
gonna sweep.
Yeah, that and Barbie will sweep.
The Batman. Well,
The Batman was not this year, was it? It was last year.
Was it?
Fairly certain it was.
Maybe I'm completely wrong. Actually, you know what? I am totally wrong.
Mm.
But yeah, there was something else at the start of this year that was pretty big. What else is coming out though? Oh yeah, no, Oppenheimer's gonna sweep, I'd say, and Barbie for like costume design. And all
Yeah,
that shit, you know?
all the shit that they can't give to Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Oh man, imagine! I think it'd be hilarious. You know, there's only like 3 films that have ever won 11 awards in one night.
Yeah.
Like, just because of the year that's in it, and there might not be other shit coming out. Imagine if Oppenheimer got like 12 or something like that.
That'd be.
I don't think you can do that. I think you can only win 11. I think 11 is the maximum amount of Oscars you can win.
What do you mean?
Because I just think that like you can't get best adaptive or best. Or is that 7?
Yeah.
Is that 7 main awards?
You can't. Yeah, you can't get adapted and best original because they're 2 different things. You can't be both. Yeah, you can't get best original and best adapted.
So is 11 the most you can get?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Because I think when you think of 11, it's like Titanic and stuff. It's like I think a few of those 11 were the ones that no one fucking cares about. Like, you know, it's like the ones like sound editing, like costume design, you know, that like aren't really that big. But like there's the big 5, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's the main 5 ones.
Actor, actress, director, screenplay.
Yeah,
Picture.
yeah.
So
So
the big 5.
I'd say Barbie and Oppenheimer will dominate.
Well, they
them.
definitely won't get any of the actress ones. Well, maybe they could. They could.
They can just split actress and actress with between them.
Could Oh no, because Ryan Gosling's winning Best Supporting Actor. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
And Florence Pugh, Best Supporting Actress.
No. Emily Blunt was better than she was.
Oh yeah, no, she'll. no, it'd be who was it'd be America Ferrera as Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Cillian Murphy I think will win.
Yeah.
Even though it's just he just kind of did what he does.
Yeah, but he did it for 3 hours. So it's like, wow, fair focus.
yeah, fair enough. We also have Saw 10's coming out.
Oh jeez.
Aquaman's coming out.
Step away, Oppenheimer. Saw 10 is out.
Yeah, man. Christopher Nolan.
Shaking his
Forget
boots.
about February, man. You want to fill that month.
I was just like, oh fuck, why did I make it such a big explosion?
The Nun 2 is coming out. Five Nights at Freddy's coming out.
Oh, never mind.
Never mind. Stop the presses.
Should have led with that one.
yeah. Postpone the Oscars.
Fucking hell.
Napoleon's coming out. That'd be pretty big.
Is that coming out? Who's directing that? That's the Ridley Scott one.
Ridley Scott, yeah. I think that'd be alright.
Is that also going to be 7 hours?
No, it's going to be an hour and a half, I suppose.
What?
Yeah. But
Jesus.
But he already announced a 3-hour director's cut, which is like the most Ridley Scott thing of all time. He's like, yeah, the film that's being released, you're going to pay to go see. That's not the film I made. That's a totally different film.
Yeah, the film I actually made is going to be on streaming services soon.
Yeah. That's like, you know, it'll be like 10 times better than the one that comes out. The Color Purple, apparently that's been remade. The Marvels, which no one will see. And then Hunger Games, the new Hunger Games. Oh man, Expendables 4.
Oh.
Trolls 3.
There's a second one? Jesus.
Yeah.
There's a second one where that Justin Timberlake song came from. Or was it the first one?
I don't know.
You know that? I can't get on to do but just dance.
Oh yeah. I think it's Trolls 2.
Mm.
Like that came from that film.
I think so, yeah, I did, yeah.
Must have been
It's
around
one of the
then, yeah.
Trolls movies.
That's crazy.
I feel like it should be the second one, but anyway.
But yeah, no, that's it. There's nothing else coming out.
The times are bleak, fucking hell.
Yeah, it's gonna be dark.
Did you see that stuff as well about like
Winter.
Stranger Things?
Oh, they're using AI to de-age them.
No, well, I didn't hear that. They're gonna have to,
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
hell, because like they're meant to be teenagers, and they're gonna be like, and they're not even meant to be like mid-teens. I think season 1 is like
They're like 10, aren't they?
they're like 10, 11, 12, so they're
Yeah.
maybe like 15, 16.
Yeah. Your one Millie
And they're
Bobby
gonna be
Brown
then
looks
they're
like
mid-
25.
They're gonna be in their mid-20s by the time they start shooting this next season.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, effort of that. Just fucking have them be in the 90s. The 90s are back in as well.
90s
Or were they
again.
were they in the 80s or 90s?
They're in
I'd
the
say?
80s.
Yeah, have them be in the 90s. What's wrong with that? That's even better.
I
That's a
think-
way better idea.
Well, because I think it ends on a cliffhanger, and you're like, there's a cliffhanger that you can't.
Oh yeah.
You can't go 10 years later.
Maybe. But yeah, no, bleak year ahead. Sorry to say.
Fucking hell. Although at least the Across the Spider-Verse will win like best animated.
Yeah, well, probably.
The bite of that's still staying, so that's gonna be like another 2 years or 3 years until that thing comes out.
Everything's getting delayed. Yeah.
Oh man,
If only they just give them the money.
it's 1%. Like, just do it.
Give them the money, guys.
We're gonna have to revert back to talking about old films, Mark.
Oh no.
Yeah, we actually talk about new shit for the first time, like ever. Everything we talked about was new.
And it's the production industry has ground to a halt
Mm.
as we make our move. Sad, but predictable.
Predictable.
Disappointed, but not surprised.
I expected nothing, and I'm still disappointed.
Still disappointed. Yeah.
Right, we go for a quick break.
Let's go for a long, yeah. And now for our recommended film of the week, or the episode, because it's been several weeks.
It's been like a month.
It's been about a month. Our recommended film is Gates of Heaven by Errol Morris. It's a 1981 film. I'm going to say that. And it's a documentary about the men who run a pet cemetery and the men and women who bury their pets.
That's what it is.
That's what it is, and it ain't no more than that. And yes, it's a very, I don't know, it's kind of like an ethnographic documentary.
Yeah.
It's not really about what it's not about heaven.
There's no narrative.
Yeah, it's actually just a documentary. A documentary in the style of something that I would compare to like Herzog or something. It's like Herzogian. It's very soggy with all his his like kind of, realist proper. What was his fucking manifesto about? What was the name of that thing? What was it? Anyway, it's literally along those lines. It's just it's revealing the people for who they are and letting them. What was the name of that? I
can't remember.
Oh, I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah,
but it is so Herzogian. It's not even funny. Which would explain why Herzog considers this one of the greatest films ever made. He said, in fact, it actually ties. It's actually a great little factoid. Or it's not factoid because factoid something's not true. It's a fact. Where Werner Herzog said, if he said to Earl Morris, if you get this film made, I will eat my fucking shoe. And lo and behold, the film was made and was very well received. Werner Herzog made a film about him eating his own shoe in response to this film being made. This is true.
What did you think about this documentary?
I thought it was amazing. I loved it.
Cards on the table.
You hated this documentary.
I think this is one of the best documentaries I've ever seen. I loved this, man.
I thought it was amazing. Yeah.
I thought this was so good.
Yeah.
Because
I'm glad you liked because you didn't mention anything about it until now.
I wanted to wait because it was like 30 minutes into the documentary, and it's two dudes, and I don't even think this film gives them names. I think it just has them talking.
Yeah.
It doesn't these aren't like characters whatsoever. They're literally just people talking, and it's a guy that runs or had run a pet cemetery talking about why they ran the pet cemetery and like how much people love their pets and like what a pet means to someone and how what it means that we would want to bury them and not, bring them off to the readers. What the fuck were they called? The other dude. What was the place where they like the horseshoe factory, whatever the fuck are they called?
Yeah, the
Reapers.
Yeah, what the fuck is it?
They reap.
They just it's a recycling center basically.
Yeah, the recycling center, but they recycle all parts of the animal bodies.
Yeah.
And like boil it down and stuff like that. And like it's this dude that runs the pet cemetery and then someone that does this and or runs a company that does that. And just the different ways that they were talking about the same subject was so interesting. Like just this weird narrative conversation that was happening between these two people who weren't having a conversation together.
Yeah.
Because one dude would say, they would, one dude was like the fella that runs the reaping, I think it's called, I can't remember, the recycling clinic or whatever the fuck. He's talking about like the sad saps that care about their animals and don't give him business, to recycle their animals and stuff like that, and how like, even the zoos do it. The zoos just don't tell people because they don't have anything to do with this. Like we look after this stuff.
Rendering plant.
Rendering, that's it. Rendering.
Yeah.
And all this type of shit where like basically his whole point of view is that animals shouldn't really be cared about, and more importantly they should be given to him so he can make business.
Yeah, yeah.
It's essentially what his viewpoint is. And then you just oppose that to the guy that runs the pet cemetery and like discussing how people love their animals, and like it just hit. It just because everyone can relate to this movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
it's so
if like, sorry, what were you saying?
it's yeah, like basically following on from what you're saying. It's like you don't even need to own a pet to understand what the film is about or to relate to what the film is about.
It's about loving someone else.
It's literally just about love.
Yeah,
the whole film is about love. You know, it's about a guy who ran a pet cemetery and random people in their relationships with their pets, and you know, kind of what they think about the world. But it's generally just about, you know, what it means to kind of, you know, lay something to rest, why we do that. And obviously the reason why we do that is because we love whatever we're putting to rest and what that means, you know, what it means to love something. And, you know, like obviously the guy at the rendering plant, he's all about, you know, this is a business, it's the oldest business, you know, it goes back hundreds of years. It's just the way things are. It's all about, you know, he wants to make money. But the film itself, even the original, the way he's kind of juxtaposed with the pet cemetery, you know, venture capitalist, like he comes up with this project to make a pet cemetery, which is like, it's, you know, he says himself, it's not like he didn't want to make money, it's just kind of his life project. But the idea itself is ridiculous, you know.
Yeah.
So you're not going to make any money off a pet cemetery because you have a very like finite space to do that in, and you can't really expand, and you know, it's not something that is kind of like you're doing
it's
because
a
you want
wise
to make
business decision.
Yeah, it's like an insane business decision, but like it's something that is literally just you do because you actually have a love for, you know, the animals, or a love for just people in general, and you know, that relationship that people have with their animals and with each other. And yeah, the whole film is just about, you know, love basically, and it's really hits.
It does.
It's not like a the Herzog thing is ecstatic truth.
Ecstatic truth.
Ecstatic truth is what he tried to articulate. In the Minnesota Declaration, that's what it was. Touched on this long time ago. But yeah, the like through the Herzogian lens, it's like this idea, the way the documentary is portrayed, or the way it's kind of set up, it's just letting these people talk. It's like these talking heads don't really need to have names, and it's not kind of done in like a mockumentary style, even though the characters, the people talking
are so extravagant.
They're so extravagant. They're so ridiculous. They're just proper, like, you know, characters in the real sense of the word.
You have like you have the sections as well where like the characters are bitching about each other, and then it cuts to the other person and what they thought of what was going on.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah, and it's funny in like it's not in a way that makes it makes you think the characters, you know, so makes someone else look small or kind of like makes fun of the subjects. It's all portrayed. They're allowed to like ramble, you know. They're more like long monologues where they're allowed to like think about what they're saying and kind of like thread a thought through, and just like kind of like properly elaborate on their feelings beyond whatever the topic is. Obviously, like about their pets or about, you know, burying their pets or their memories of their pets. They're allowed to just keep talking. It's not just about sound bites or like silly little interactions. Like you have the woman singing to her dog, and her dog sings back, and it's ridiculous, but it goes on for like long enough.
It goes on for like 2 minutes.
Yeah. It's funny, but it's not funny in a way that you're laughing at them. It's just like, oh, that's kind of cute.
It's a sweet moment.
Yeah, it's really sweet. Even
like
though
you can
it's so
see,
ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous, but in that moment you can see how much that dog means to her.
Yeah, and how much like you can see the dog really likes her obviously as well. You know, it's like proper, like there's a real bond between those two animals. You know. And the film is proper hits. Yeah. Proper, especially towards the end, I was struggling. I was like, oh my god, I was getting all misty-eyed.
Yeah, where did you watch this?
On YouTube.
Yeah, same, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good cut on YouTube. Really good cut.
There's a lot of movies. I'm making a playlist. I'm making a playlist on YouTube of all the films that I'm finding. There's a lot of films.
Yeah, stick them on the channel. Subscribe.
But yeah, no, there's something that just really hits, especially like he's talking about, like the first fella is talking about like the types of animals that they got, and he says like, we didn't care what the fuck like what you brought, like as long as you cared for it and it was your pet, and you know what we mean when you say pet. Like we had monkeys, we this, we that. We people bring fish and they wanted to bury the fish and stuff like that. Like people cared about these animals, and like as you're saying, like it's about that love that we have for this animal. But then obviously how we deal with, because they talk about like bringing it back to nature, like returning it to nature. So all that shit is just like how we deal with grief of someone that we love dying. And just like it just moves. It's just kind of, it's talking about the death of a pet, but it means so much more than that.
Yeah, and it's like this little window or this little snapshot. It's a very American movie. It's a film that you only see really made in America.
Yeah,
but at the same time, you can apply it. I think it's just, you know, the circumstances they had, but like it applies everywhere. I think you can make this kind of movie anywhere. It's just a kind of snapshot of this little story or this little subject matter, but it's kind of the message and the way it's kind of allowed to the people speaking are allowed to elaborate their thoughts. It becomes like extremely universal, just in the way it expands.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just because they're allowed to talk about what their feelings are, you know, why they're doing this, and there's no intervention really whatsoever from the guy, like Errol Morris himself. You know, he's not intervening, asking no questions. There's no.
Yeah, you don't hear a documentarian.
Yeah, he's not really leading you along, except obviously in the sense that the way he edits the film.
Yeah.
It's just it's a very beautiful film.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very beautiful film.
Even the shots of like the landscapes and stuff are so beautiful because it's just like vast American landscape and just this little pet cemetery that's there.
Yeah. It's very, very cute, very sad film, but then like uplifting as well at the same time. You know, it's like, you know, Gummo had the same kind of vibe.
Yeah,
very influenced by Herzog, and this is the same kind of thing where you feel like it's gonna be sad. And
I was expecting this to be so much sadder than it was.
It's
we were
sad in a sweet way.
It's like bittersweet.
Yeah.
Like, because when we were talking about the film before, we were talking about like, oh man, it's a film about like a pet cemetery. Like that's gonna be so sad. And like the film is about pet cemetery, but it's not like. It's not like, oh, here's a family we're following a family going through the process of their dog dying and they're going to bury the dog in the pet cemetery. Yeah. There's nothing like that. There's people who had a pet years ago and they talk about why they buried their dog or something like that. Mm-hmm. But even there is a funeral scene, but it's kind of funny.
Which one? When they're under the tent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's just like,
because your man's taking it so seriously.
Your man's taking it, and it is like a ridiculous thing. But I would bury my dog, like not in a pet cemetery, but I would bury my dog. I would not bring him to a recycling clinic.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. Because it's not thought of now, even in America. You know, it's not really a thing. It's like if you bury your pet, it's kind of, or if you arrange for your pet to be buried in a cemetery.
Or some people get their pets cremated.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's acceptable. But like, I don't know anyone who's ever buried their pet in a cemetery. It's not really a thing, you know.
No, not here anyway.
But
it should be haunted as fuck if it was in Ireland.
If it was a thing,
they do it in a fairy fort. Just make a pet cemetery in a fairy fort and see what happens.
Yeah. Just recreate a Stephen King novel. But if someone did do it, you kind of be like, like the general perception would be kind of like a scoff, you know, like you know. But like, you do the same thing with, you know, obviously if your family member dies, or if someone you don't really know. Is died, and you have you show up to their funeral, you know.
Why would you not do the same for your dog?
Yeah, exactly.
He's been there, thick and thin, everything.
And it's like the tagline to the film is "Death is for the living, not for the dead."
Yeah,
so much, you know. It's like the whole idea of like something passing on, something that you love that isn't there anymore, and just, you know, trying to demonstrate your love, trying to, I don't know, overcome the bad feelings that you had, you know, and putting it to rest in a respectful way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good. It's towards the end when they start showing, there's like a montage at the end. The way it's shot is obviously beautiful.
Yeah,
as well.
It's so well shot.
And the editing is just it's really well made, really well produced film. And they have like the montage of like the dogs' graves at the end. And like, there's like
the little writings and
the owners are allowed to put quotes on the headstones and stuff like that. I was about to burst into tears. For fuck's sake, like this is so sad, you know. But it's so sweet, you know, because it's not about, like, as you say, it's not about the process of a dog dying. It's not about the process of dying. It's about people who loved something very deeply, and it's about them expressing that.
Yeah,
and that's what burying something is, and that's what a pet cemetery is about. Mm-hmm. You know, or any kind of cemetery.
Yeah. Oh no, it's just because like I expected No Home Movie to hit like this, but No Home Movie didn't hit me like how this film hit.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think there's some
commonalities.
there's some commonality of just like recording people and just like there's no. Although this is about Pet Cemetery, but it's about so much more than that. Yeah, maybe there's not a lot of similarities between those two films.
I was just
Just comparing it to the last documentary I watched.
I was just like this. I don't know. Like the style of the whole movie is a lot rougher, but it is kind of it's similar. They're both documentaries, obviously, and about dying, basically.
Yeah.
But this is just it's the way this film is about dying, but turns it on your head. Turns the idea on its head.
Yeah.
Basically, you think it's about dying, like when you first start getting into it. And it starts going into like the fucking, business plans, buying up land. It's very clearly not about what you thought it is. I love the way it does that. I love the way it kind of it peels back the layers, and it just
and all the weird characters that are in it.
Yeah, the zany characters who are just people just being themselves, and they're allowed to be themselves on camera. And there's no judgment whatsoever. It's not like this guy's a fucking idiot. Like what the fuck is he doing? Even the guy who's like.
Except for the guy that does. I feel like the film takes a very firm stand with the guy that runs the recycling place. What was it called?
Yeah, the rendering plant.
Rendering. I think he took a firm stance on him because that dude was a dick.
yeah, but it's like it's more. I don't know. It's just I don't think it's like really being very judgmental. But he's very clearly cast in the way the film is, the tone of the film. He's definitely cast as kind of like the villain, if there is a villain. Like he's the bad guy who doesn't really care that much about it. He's the business minded guy, and this whole film is like doesn't care about business whatsoever.
Yeah,
but he is there. But even have the guy who's like his dad runs the cemetery. He's like he's inheriting, and he's a gobshite, like absolute like, gobshite.
It's a grand old life for a single life.
Yeah.
We're in a pet cemetery and living in a chicken coop. Is what he said.
Yeah, they allow him to ramble on for fucking ages, and he's full
the
of himself.
fucking music as well.
Yeah. Like he's just a gobshite, but like it's you don't like dislike this guy.
No,
really, he's just kind of a character. He's just one of the cast.
Yeah, one of the many characters that are in this film.
Yeah.
And you have your one that's like bitching about the rich one. It's like she only did that to make everyone else believe that she cared about her dog that much.
Yeah.
Like she was only doing it for show. She didn't love her dog that much.
Yeah. It's a great little slice of life kind of thing, or just like an insight into a strange world that we all inhabit in some kind of way.
Because even like there's a bit about like how one pet cemetery closed and had to move, so that they moved the bodies of the animals, and that's a real big deal for a lot of people. It's like you're burying up my animal, my dog, my pet, because people have the same reaction to like. You're burying up my granny. What the fuck? No, you're not doing that. You're not moving them. They've already been buried.
Yeah,
they've been laid to rest.
Yeah. Well, that'd be my only thing. If I was like, if there was a pet cemetery down the road, my dog died, I'd be like, oh, I'd love to do that. But then like the way things work, it's like in 10 years that land will be worth way more as a fucking apartment complex than
and
it would
be sold off to a vulture fund.
It'd be sold off to some German pension fund or whatever. Yeah, and they just build a block of whatever on top of it, and they wouldn't care about the animals or anything about what the site stands for, because you're not incentivized to care about that in economic terms, as the guy at the start tells us through the film. But just the fact that they wanted to dig them up and move them somewhere else, like that'd be my main concern with Pet Cemetery. Basically, it's like you're just gonna it'll just get flattened at some point and turned into something else.
There is a pet cemetery in Ireland.
Is there?
Yeah, man. Heavenly Haven.
Oh.
And it is you can do burials and cremations with them.
Oh, very good.
I don't know where it is though.
Bit late for me.
Pet burial. Let me check this. Heavenly Haven. Home. They do home burial. Oh, okay. I think they only do home burials. Fair enough. But they give you a little plaque.
Yeah, that's nice. They say a home burial. That's fair enough as well. But again, it's like you're just gonna sell like off. We found the skeleton of a dog in our house, like 15 years ago.
Jesus.
Buried under the turf, but like that's nice, and like, obviously unless you're selling it the next year, you'd probably be kind of disturbed about leaving the dog behind. But like, if it's very personal to put it in your back garden, that's kind of a nice way to do it. Instead, just the vet's probably just fucking ship it off to a vet renter.
It's like, it's gonna. Old Yeller's gonna go off on the boat.
Yeah, he's going to a farm. Be a very, very beautiful film. I really enjoyed it.
Same. Really, really enjoyed it.
I'll probably watch it again. To be honest.
Same, and it's an easy watch. It's actually somewhat cozy.
Yeah.
It just feels you like warm feelings, but also tinged with a little bit of sadness.
And a little bit of you know, bit of love. It's a very nice film. It's a good, I just love the film. I think it's good vibes. Often,
Yeah.
You know, like in a kind of what's the word? It's like melancholic.
Yes, it's a very melancholic film.
Yeah. Which is good. It's a good vibe to have sometimes.
That's all you want.
Yeah. Well, not all you want, but
No,
like
it's not. So much you want sometimes.
yeah.
I'll bring this film to the desert island. That's all I'm fucking saying. It lasts fucking 4 days until
Just wade into the sea.
Yeah.
I'm burying myself.
I can't deal with this. Okay, right. Oh shit! I need a recommended film.
All right, we'll get back to you.
Okay, I have a movie. We will be watching The Third Part of the Night, directed by Andrzej Zulawski. He's the guy that did On the Silver Globe, which you talked about many moons ago.
Which was an amazing film. The first half, at least.
2021. I think it's the first recommended film of 2021. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that.
That's a big limb.
Yeah.
I would have no idea.
Or maybe maybe it was 2022.
It was an amazing film. Anyway.
Great old film. And this is Zulawski's debut film, set during the Nazi occupation of Poland, in which Michael witnesses the murder of his mother, wife, and child. He is hurled into a life that literally is not his own, a surreal world littered with trapdoors, doppelgangers, and wormholes. So,
sign me up.
Sounds good. 1971. Yeah, that's the returning former king of one movie that we liked. He also did Possession, which I really like. That's one of my favorite films.
Yeah.
This dude's batting 2 for 2. Can his debut be a third?
Can he get the bag on the third part of the long night of his Paropod series?
This bag is like you're skagged at like 5 o'clock in the morning when I was like, here, I know a guy. That's what this film is.
After watching his 3 films in a row.
Yeah. It's like, I need a bag.
Doing the marathon. Alone in your room. I know a guy. Start talking to yourself.
And then just ascend from that point. Okay.
Let's do it.
We will be returning to regularly recorded episodes now. There'll be no more...
No more of that funny business.
Yeah, no more funny business. We don't release an episode for 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
We're back on track.
Back on track.
Let's go. As a great once Italian said, let's go.
Anyway, ciao.